Next up, we have John Sweeting to give the registration services report.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody has enjoyed their time here in New Orleans and you're able to get out and enjoy whatever time you have left. I'm going to run through some slides telling you about what we actually do in registration services. First off is the team. We have 11 people in registration services. Kathy Clements, who I'm sure you have all stopped and talked to, or I hope you have, because she does a great job and deserves to hear that from everyone, is here and out at the help desk. She's actually in the room. Kathy, you want to stand up? I'm going to skip to Mike Papano, who is Papanino, Papo. It's a running joke with him. So Mike's standing back there in the back also. He's been out at the help desk helping everybody clear up any issues they had and giving them great information. But going down the list, because I guess James is also out there at the desk, but I guess he's holding down the desk. Oh, he's here. James, there's James as well. Let's give a hand to James and Mike. All right, back in the office, taking care of things back there so that we can all be here enjoying New Orleans and helping you guys with any requests you've had here. We have Lisa Liddell, who is our Resource Services Manager. John Worley, who is the Technical Services Manager. Eddie Diego, Senior Resource Analyst, and then our Resource Analyst are Masuk Kwan, Doreen Marafa, James is here, Jonathan Roberts, and Sean Sullivan. And we also have a paralegal on the staff now that I think Susie's been there a little over a year. She just hit her 1 year anniversary last month, I believe, if I remember correctly. So RSD, core responsibilities. Of course, it's Internet Number Resources. We kind of reordered, I used to show IPv4 up there at the first thing, but we've reordered that IPv6 request, initial and follow-on. That's, I believe, our core responsibility. Autonomous system numbers, and then IPv4 requests, which today consists of requests for critical infrastructure out of that special pool, the transition to IPv6 pool, which is the 410, and the waitlist requests. Another core responsibility is the change of authority transactions, which we've heard a lot about this week, and that would be the transfers, the merger and acquisitions, specified transfers within the region, and the specified transfers that go between the regions, the intra-RIR transfers. And we also handle the specified transfer listing service, which everyone has heard a lot about this week as well. I feel like this is like the fourth time I'm up here talking about these things, which it is. Okay, some other core responsibilities is the Internet Number Resource Inventory Management. A lot of this is done by John Worley. He administers most of this. He's the one that requests our additional resources from IANA, which is not very often these days, since we only go and request IPv6 and autonomous system numbers. So a good year, we might have 2 requests to IANA. Normally, we will probably have 1 request IANA a year. We have been getting resources back from them. John also manages those and administers the wait list with those. As he gets them in, we try to do a very quick turnaround on the resources we get from IANA every September 1st and March 1st. He also manages the return and revoked resources, which I went through that new process. Well, not a new process, but a very in-depth process that we do to go through the returned and revoked resources to get them back out to the people on the wait list. And he tracks and he maintains the reserved resources. And we have the customer support desk, which is always there 7 to 7 Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Ask ARIN online, and we also still answer Hostmaster. Okay, some of the support functions that we do as a team. We support the policy development and implementation process. Sean is in my office more than he probably wants to, and probably more than I want him to be. But just kidding, Sean, it's all right. Software development support, we do a lot. We have to, as the team is going through and they get input from customers and they're using the ARIN online system, the management system, there's always things that can be improved. So we'll write a story and put it into the engineering team, and they will look at it and tell us whether they can do it or not. Usually they will get it done one way or the other and help us to do our job better and to help the customer have a better experience. We also support ARIN on the road, trade shows, presentations. You've been to an ARIN on the road, you've probably ran into John Worley, who's from RSD. Eddie Diego is going to start supporting that a little bit more as well. Eddie also supports the NANOG help desk. Mike back there supports it once in a while as well. Masuk will be supporting the one in San Jose this year. Let's see, statistics and database analysis. We do provide monthly statistics to the Communication Member Services Department to post on the website each month. We also have to collect quarterly statistics that we have to send to the NRO, and actually our CMSD department actually does all the graphing and slides presentation for those statistics for the NRO quarterly statistics. And we respond to community requests for data research and other statistics as the requests come in, if it's something to do with RSD and what we're doing. And we've probably responded to a few for Owen, I'm sure, through the years. Okay, so organizations served by ARIN. A lot of times the questions, how many members do you have? Which doesn't tell the whole story. There's actually 37,458 total organizations served by ARIN, of which 16,000 plus of those are legacy. 5,475 of them are under an RSP, so that's mostly your ISPs with a few end users that have opted to buy into the resource service plan. And then there's 15,568 end users. Okay, so summary on the request activity. IPv4 requests, of course, it's decreasing. The IPv4 free pool tickets have been decreasing. What's increasing is the pre-approvals and specified recipient transfers. On the IPv6 request, it's been steady. It's hasn't gone up, it doesn't go down. It just stays steady through month over month. It stays steady. There's a graph you'll see, maybe the next slide. And there is an increase in help desk inquiries, and I think that's probably directly related to transfers, because transfers are a little bit more complicated than just going in and asking for resources from ARIN. And of course, the transfers are starting to increase, and it's expected that the increase will continue. So here's the graph. As you can see, IPv4 requests have come way down since they were actually, so the 400 is left there because that's what they were kind of average in a month, was 400. So we took that last month that was at 400 and showed it as it started to decline right about the time we started to run out. I think September was the run out, and you can see, but it's a little funny. It still has stayed. We still get more IPv4 requests a month than we do IPv6 requests per month. But as you can see on the purple line there, IPv6 requests have remained steady. There was no big increase. We thought there might be. There wasn't. It's just been steady. IPv4 requests in 2016, there was 1,220 total requests over the year, about 100 a month. Of those requests, 68 are still in progress, 70 were completed. Out of the 70 that were completed, 60 of those were the 4.10 transitioned IPv6 pool, and 10 were 4.4 critical infrastructure pool. 185 went onto the wait list, and 897 were closed. The closed represents mostly abandoned requests. People will put in a request, it'll get assigned to an analyst, and the analyst will start telling them, okay, this will qualify you to put you on the wait list, and they say, oh, never mind, and they close the ticket. So that is what that large number of closed requests are. So this is a interesting slide that John Worley wanted me to show to you guys. This is IPv6 block size over time for end users only. ISP numbers aren't in there because he said those aren't interesting because they get 32s or larger, and it's always, you know, the same stuff. But what he really wanted me to point out in this slide was the fact that in 2011 there was a new policy change written by David Farmer and approved and went through the process. I hear they had a really great chair that year. I'm not sure, but I've heard that. So he just wanted to show that you know, that change was a successful change. It took the number of 48s from 80% of the requests were /48s to like they're only 50% now. So I think the purpose of the policy actually did what it was supposed to. Also, so just to tell you the numbers on that, for 2016, there was 131/48, 70/44, 64/40s, 13/36s, and 2/32s, for a total 280 end user IPv6. And it's pretty representative. Since that change in policy, the percentages, that's pretty representative of each year. 8.3s, 8.4 transfers completed per month. 8.4s they haven't grown a lot, but they've grown, you know, steady. They got up to 20, and their staying rate are between 15, 20 a month. The 8.3s, actually, we had a big spike, as you can see, in January of this year, and we expect that to at least stay up there, maybe go even higher. Total IPv4 consumption. So what this graph shows you is the green is what has been issued out to the wait list from the free pool, and the purple is the transfer market. People in the requests being satisfied by the transfer market, which really aren't requests, but it just shows movement of V4 resources from somebody that wasn't using them to people that needed them and were going to use them. So this is a slide that we actually added another chunk in there for Owen, the IPv6 only, but this represents the RSP end user organizations, IPv4, IPv6 holdings. As you can see, IPv4 only for ISPs, it's about 50-50 there, and there's 450, close to 450 that have IPv6 only, and end users, there's 295 that have IPv6 only. There is a side note to that. Just because they only have IPv6 from ARIN doesn't mean that they only have IPv6, because these could be people that have IPv4 from their upstream. So we don't have any way to really measure that. So just especially for Owen, I just wanted to mention that to you. And once again, telephone help desk is staffed 7 a.m., 7 p.m. We average around 700 calls a month, and the most common topics, as you can see, POC validation, ticket status, ARIN online, transfer related questions. That is it.
Any questions for John?
Hey, John. Kevin Bloomberg, The Wire. Just one question. There was a policy a couple years ago that put more space into the critical infrastructure pool based on the assumption that IXs would be growing, there'd be more of them, we'd need more of them. Have you tracked the amount of space coming out of that pool, the critical infrastructure pool? I know you mentioned 4.10, but as an example, 2016, 2015, that sort of thing, has there been an increase in the number of critical infrastructure requests?
Now, out of the, as I showed on this chart, out of the 70 requests completed last year, 60 of them that were completed were for 410 space. 10 requests were for 4.4. You want to know the total number?
I'm just wondering,
whether they were 24, 23, 22.
No, I don't. The
No?
size is not as important as the histogram change over time. That's actually what I'm curious about, because there was a lot more put into the pool because the expectation was there would be significantly more
We
used.
have not seen that. It's been steady.
Thank you.
Any other questions for John?